Hey guys, I just got done with the tour of the National Radio Telescope Astronomy Observatory, and it was pretty cool. They were talking about how this area is protected from radio waves and stuff like that, and I guess I'm not as good of a scientist as I think sometimes. I asked him about microwaves. Before I even asked him, he was like, microwaves, people having microwaves, and microwave signals aren't that big of a deal because they're more pinpointed than radio frequencies. They're both on the electromagnetic spectrum, but he's like, people can have microwave stuff, and they'd have to point it right at the radio telescope for it to have any interference on it. So that may be a reason why, like in my hotel room, I still have, some trouble from the remote stuff. But they are radio waves, and microwaves are on the electromagnetic spectrum, both of them, but they're different. And this area is a radio quiet zone, but it's not necessarily a microwave frequency quiet zone, and that's what I'm being hit with. It's not as bad here. It's like I said, it is a reprieve. They actually, in the building, they have Faraday cages. And in another building, they have Faraday cages made out of copper, and he did an experiment with copper. There, like in the room where they did the video, and then so I put a little bit of copper in my thing at home. And that's what they use for their Faraday cages at the actual observatory, which I might start using copper a little bit more. They had a nice copper mesh on this little Faraday cage, and I wonder where they got that, because copper's really expensive. I think you'd use less copper than you would aluminum, because I'm piling up aluminum, and he's cutting through it with the microwaves. I think copper is a better substitute for electromagnetic frequencies. But the thing is, I guess we got to get specific, because a radio frequency is an electromagnetic frequency, and a microwave frequency is an electromagnetic frequency too. So I guess you can't just say electromagnetic frequencies are being shot at me. We got to get specific. It's microwaves. And so, to be honest, this trip, it's worth it. It wasn't that expensive, and it's good. I'm learning stuff, and I'll probably, research town more and electromagnetic frequencies, and I'm always learning more. And I was like, on the videos, and you'll see me before, I was like, maybe this is a safe haven, and we can all go live there, and, these people can't kill us, and it'll be great, and just, my dad was like, I think he said it, he's like, you're just grabbing at stuff, and I am. I'm desperate, this guy's killing me, and I can't get help, and I am desperate. This seemed like a really something that we need to know anyway. Somebody needs to come up, and there are a lot of researchers doing videos about it, but I'm a targeted individual specifically with remote microwaves being shot at my head. It's good to learn that, though. Radio waves, they're on the electromagnetic spectrum. Microwaves are on the electromagnetic spectrum. But radio waves are spread out more. They're like, it's not like a, he said they're longer. They're longer waves. And microwaves are very short waves. They're very pinpointed waves. And that's why, somebody can shoot them at our head, and the V2K and all that. And like in a room, even with other people in it, and they can't hear it and stuff like that. That's it. So they're very pinpointed waves. And he was like, and they have, dishes and stuff to protect from radio waves. They have a truck to pick up stuff. But he said that microwaves, they would have to be shot directly at the telescope for it to create interference. So they're not as concerned about people having microwaves. Like, microwaves to microwave their food, and then I guess that would include satellites that shoot microwaves down at human beings, or whatever they use. Cell towers. I don't see how they'd use cell towers, because those are also electromagnetic frequencies. Yeah, I've got to learn more. I've learned a lot in this. it's definitely a reprieve. It's definitely getting away from the guy physically, so he can't call the cops, and they have drawn guns on me. I am desperate. That's the truth. So my dad said it. He was against this trip. I think I'm glad that I came up here. I guess I'm an idealist, so I search for the ideal solution, and I need to maybe tone that down and survive and just keep the war up. I search for the ideal solution that, like, I can go somewhere and get away from this guy, and, like, it'll be great, and there's this dream can be realized. It can, and I'm just a little bit disappointed that this wasn't a pure wrap-up solution. It's nice, and there's mountains around, so everything's toned down. Like, I don't got stuff ripping apart my body. I don't have microwaves ripping apart my body, but it's not a complete, it's totally different, too. I mean, it's totally different than staying at my house and feeling it. So it is, I mean, it's good. I don't know. It's like I can't spend thousands of dollars to go places for it to just be a little bit better. I want to find long-term solutions so I can get a job and help my family, my sick dad, and my mom, who are trying to hold up the family. And, but yeah, like, I'll tell y'all more about it. I took some video of the actual, trip, and I think it's a good place, but it's not a cure-all, especially if you're being hit with remote microwaves, remote neural monitoring. It's not like a haven like I thought. It's not like everything is like blacked out. Radio signals are. You can't listen to the radio, so get some CDs. I think AM radios, certain radio signals do get through. But there's all these things across the electromagnetic spectrum, and I don't know, some people may be being hit with radio waves. I'm definitely being hit with microwaves. But I thought it all kind of went in together, and that they couldn't move stuff over this area. Like, I thought that'd be a big deal, but I guess if you're just pinpointing it, there's certain things that, like, and he's like, oh, there's radio frequencies and radio stuff all around this place. It's just, if it interferes with our telescope, that's when we deal with it. But I mean, it's good. I have a whole week here, which, God, I guess I planned for the most idealist. I was like, this is it, man. This is gonna be it. I can move there. I can be safe. No more murder. A little bit disappointed, just naturally. I'm gonna try and get out of that. I'll get out of that like in a day or whatever. God has a plan for this. I've learned a lot too. I've learned about microwaves and radio waves. Need to learn more. And how this is happening. And it's a big reprieve. It's a lot different from being at home and being shot by stuff, Raytheon weapons on the ground, the remote stuff. So, I mean, I knew that. I know when I get away from the house and I have all my stuff and he's just hitting me remotely or whatever, I can probably stop it, And plus, I'll be using probably a Faraday cage with copper mesh, or put it on my roof. Somehow get the money for that. It's just not having money and depending on my parents to help me. And I mean, I guess he's not spending money. People already have these microwave weapons, and their club has some sophisticated technology, and I think they actually get stuff for doing it. So it's not like he's not moving backwards. He's not using up a bunch of resources that are going to be gone. He's actually getting stuff for it. He's building, and he's ripping me down and ripping my family down and killing me, saying he's got to do it and stuff like that. Up here, I don't hear him saying that. I'm not getting that. I get a little bit of a high-pitched noise in my hotel room, but around here, it really is. I mean, it's really dulled down. But it's not a haven or a cure-all for for remote EMF, and I shouldn't just say remote electromagnetic frequencies. I need to be more specific and say remote microwave frequencies, microwave surveillance, remote neural monitoring, all that stuff. Microwaves, those are microwaves. It's electromagnets, extremely high frequency sounds and extremely low frequency, which are in the electromagnetic spectrum, but it's more on the microwave side and not on the radio side. Alright, a little bit disappointed. I'll probably go out there and take some videos of the big radio telescope. And when you get under that telescope, it's just, you don't hear anything. You're not hit by anything, because if they did do microwaves like to that telescope, it would interfere with it. And they have Faraday rooms like right when you walk into the observatory, and in another building they have like 2 or 3 rooms that are actually lined with copper, but you can't live in the observatory, so it's a good place to learn stuff about it. I was hoping this whole radio quiet zone was a panacea. Is that what you'd call it, a panacea? Cure-all for our fight. It's not even a fight. It's just torture. It's just people sitting at their torture stations and treating people like they're video game targets. I don't understand it. I know I'm hurting my family. Even by coming up here, it was a big shock. I mean, it was like my mom. She was like, I know, I believe in you, and if you just believe, you can figure this out. And I'm gonna stop talking about that, because I'm gonna really start crying. Still figure this out. I'm not gonna stop. I'll never stop. I can't stop. Y'all know that. Y'all know the situation we're in. Because if we stop, these people will just shoot you in your head and your sleep, and they'll kill you and say they have to do it and gotta finish it out or something. I don't understand it. I know that they know the more bizarre and murders they make it, the more people don't believe us. So they're not very worried about, being incredibly murderous and crazy and bizarre, because that means that when you talk about it, you'll sound crazier. So it seems to get darker and darker, and they realize they can go further and further, and they realize that kind of covers them. So it's like this evil cycle that tar and octopus arms, and just it grows, and it's a monster, and people are just like treating it like it's just this, oh yeah, this guy needs to die, and they don't even know me. Like, there are people who are involved in this. They'll chase me around in vehicles or do one lights and everything. They don't know me. They're doing it for a brother in some kind of brotherhood or group that gang stalks. I have no clue. I have theories on it, but I don't have any definitive evidence to say one way or the other. I have some very solid theories, though, scary theories that you just don't want to mess with these people, and I never did mess with them. You just don't want to get on their radar. You don't want to get on their radar, but I mean, they're doing this to people all over the world, so like, my dad said this too. He's very wise without believing me. He said, he's between a rock and a hard place. I'm between a rock and a hard place. And that's where I am. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I don't really have many decisions of not to fight this and just, oh, yeah, okay, well, I'll just forget about this and live a normal life. Because the guy literally, like, it seems like a mission for him to test this equipment out and see how much he can murder somebody and roast them and torture them and follow them across the country. It's like his job and his mission. I guess he's getting stuff, maybe money. He's getting payment for it. I don't know what organization would do that. It's incredible that American citizens are dying. Citizens around the world are dying from this stuff. God, I wish I could just get on this thing and be like, it worked. There is a place where you can go 13,000 square miles, and it just shuts it down. It shuts them down. They can't watch you. They can't surveil you, But it is a radio telescope, and it's more of a radio quiet zone microwaves, he was saying, aren't as dangerous to what they're doing because they're pinpointed. And they'd have to shoot it right at the... And that's why they shoot it directly at your head or your genitals or your chest and other people around you. Like, I mean, I've been standing right by my mom, like, while we've been working, and he's shooting me in the head, like, with the high-pitched sound or whatever, and she doesn't feel anything. Because it's so like accurate and just targeted towards your head. But there's I mean, the copper Faraday cage thing was something good to learn. You know, I'd already kind of guessed by just seeing a movie where they were doing it that copper was a good solution to it. It's really expensive though. It's more expensive than aluminum. But I'll research it more, and I'm going to be here for a week, so I'm going to drive around, see what's to be seen. Right now, you know, I'm pretty safe in my lodge, and it's a lot different here. I'm not burning at night alive. The signals aren't completely gone. He's still trying to... I guess it's satellite. I guess it's some kind of satellite where they can just, you know, do it or transfer it across the country. And I don't know if that's a space satellite, like satellite TV, in which case they can just, any person in the world, you know, they can just shoot it down at their head. I don't know how you stop that. I mean, I know you can probably ban the ground weapons, but I guess I'm going to have to maybe eventually, like, push through and earn enough money to where I can make a house, or maybe get that Airstream trailer. I know I'm going to have to be pushing after this because the sad thing about this is this was this was a stretch for me and my family, and my mom's going to probably believe me less after this, so it's going to be harder to get her help, and so I'll just have to, I mean, he'll be killing me, and I'm going to have to just go to a job, try and earn enough money to think of something. Hopefully some of this stuff somebody will help us. I'm trying to help us, but I'm just like a guy who nobody believes. My own family doesn't believe me. And they can. It's the microwaves. They can just pinpoint them at you, and then you pretty much are crazy because you are delusional because everybody's not experiencing it. So the definition of delusion is like that everybody's not experiencing it. It's not a normal thing. So these people, they kind of pinpoint you out, and then they just burn you live and torture you and do the V2K, and they're fine with it. They learn that they're not going to get caught. Right now, they're not getting caught. I mean, in the future, like, we got to be more positive and hope that more people will be able to help us in the future. And I know if I can get someplace where he's just hit me remotely, I've got tons of stuff, plates and stuff that can stop those microwaves, actually, that are actually better than the radio quiet zone. Like the big shooters on the side, you know, that's a different story, kind of. Military attacks on American citizens in their home. I spent $1,000. That's a lot of money, you know, for people who don't have money and have been stripped of all their money and their way to make finances, and they're leaning on their family who's hurting. It's a big thing. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna, you know, tell my parents. I mean, it's good that I came up here. I guess it is worth $1,000, so I'm getting a bit of a reprieve, a different place to go. The guy's not able to call police on me and with loaded weapons and lie about me. So it's less dangerous for the neighborhood. It gives me time to kind of think. I wish, and I'm idealistic, I wish it was just completely gone. It's gone to a point where I can concentrate. In my house, I can even concentrate. This is something new and horrible, and it's sad. I see so many people who are going through it, like so many comments, so many people going through it. You know, it's like whole families are being attacked by it. I don't see how somebody is not stepping in and saying, look at all these people. Like, because everybody I've gotten to try and help is like, well, you've got 20,000 views on YouTube, those are all crazy people like you, and they're just coming there. And it's not. It's all rational people who are trying to use science, and, you know, there's tons of us. You know, tons of us making videos, tons of us on websites, tons of us on YouTube. We're all talking about it. We're all experiencing it. I don't understand how there aren't some powerful people who are like, this is really evil. People are killing people and culling them. Not like animals. It's less respect than you give an animal. It's less respect than prisoners of war, our terrorist enemies who bomb Americans. They can't be tortured like this. They get sleep, and they can't even be tortured. And I'm an American citizen. I'm tortured all over the United States. But it's so bizarre, and it's so violent, and it's so messed up that people just, they're like, you're crazy. And that's like part of it. That's part of it. These people know that you'll just be seen as crazy. Not forever, though. I wish it'd come sooner so I could help my family and love people, not read a letter from my mom. Like, I don't even, like, she gave me something like mad money up here, and in an envelope, and it was just a nice thing about me. Her and my dad, they're praying for me. I can't pick it up and look at it without just bursting into tears, because my parents, they love me and they trust in me. They may not believe me, but they trust in me to figure it out and to not. And I'm just such a burden on them because of this, like, because of what this guy is doing. These people, like, I guess they want you to commit suicide or end up in a mental institution or just die in your sleep. It's dark. I don't know how he sees it. I don't care. Like, I'm going to stop trying to judge this kind of thought that he has, because, I mean, he does surveil me, and then anything that I say, like, wow, this is really satanic to me, like killing people and burning them, like, he'll be like, oh, he called us Satan worshipers, we need to go ahead and ritually kill him. So, like, anything he turns back and just, he has to do it. It's like, no, there is no truth for him, apparently. I don't know. I don't know how he believes or what he thinks he's doing, or, you know, what lengths he thinks he has to go to murder one person and hurt an American family. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I start saying stuff like that, and he acts like I'm insulting him because, you know, they watch me. I'm not even saying it near him or in his house, you know, when I say stuff like that. It's complete domination and murder and rape of people's minds and their lives and their families. But they'll call you crazy for that. They'll be like, this guy's crazy, he's negative, and we got to kill him off because he's crazy and he thinks people are shooting him in the head with microwaves, because we are. But that's the program that they do it, and it's a hidden thing. So it's bizarre, and just it screws everybody's mind. So there's no truth to hang on to. Well, there is truth. I mean, I know this stuff is going on. I've been tortured by it long enough. It's changed the whole way through from just high-pitched sound emitters to then, you know, microwaving my stomach and my chest and stuff like that. So it comes in stages. You know, he's put it in stages, but, you know, people would say that mental illnesses come in stages too. So they figure out it's almost like he could do anything, and because it's so unbelievable, it's so evil, and people can't believe it, that he can do anything, and people are gonna side with him because it's so scary. And it's easier to believe that one person is crazy than to believe that there's these people who are torturing people in their sleep and chasing them around and stalking them, and there's people who just go, it's scarier to believe that. So, I mean, they've got other people, the people who are not connected to this, who could help us, they've got their psychology down too, pretty much. It is the most evil thing to me that I've ever seen in my life or studied or learned about. I'm going to keep fighting. I have no choice. Even if I had no choice, I think I'd have to do that. But here, it's nice. I mean, it's nice. I don't feel anything. The most I feel is like a high-pitched noise, a little bit like the EHF, and that's like after a long night of sleep. And that'll be like, I guess, if I'm staying still, they can get something on my head. But driving around and stuff. So I guess, I mean, it does tone it down. It does work. just not a cure-all. I'm not gonna lie and say it's a cure-all. It's a thing that can that you can come to, and everything will go away. You know, all those problems will go away, because you know the remote stuff is really, really tricky. But it'll get you away if they are physically doing it to you on the side of your house. It'll get you away from them. But you can, I mean, there's other places to go that you can just physically get away from people and maybe not spend as much money. But it is toned down a lot. The attacks are toned down a lot. The remote attacks are toned down a lot. But I'll be making some more videos. I'll be trying to post my videos. I'm not sure if I can, because I'm using my computer. But I'll at least be transferring them so I can post them all when I get home. Love you guys. God bless. Know that God has blessed this trip. Like, I'm just down right now because I'm an idealist, and I want everything to be like, okay, this is a fix for the situation so I can help my family and live in peace and not feel pain 24 hours a day. But it's a victory. I mean, there's certain victories in this. It's just not a blowout, like, woo, this is it. You know, this is it. And that's what I was, you know, shooting for, because I guess it's when you're dealing with something so painful. My dad's right. Like, I'm grasping for stuff, and I'm desperate. But I'm still trusting in the Lord. You know, my human desperation doesn't stop the fact that, you know, I'm gonna get my soul right, and I'm gonna believe that, you know, I can get through this, and I'm going to keep on trying to learn the science behind it, and just learn more and more about it, and keep fighting. But yeah, I was really hoping for you know, I'm within, like, you know, 6 miles of Green Bank, and I'm within the 13,000 square mile zone of radio quiet zone. But yeah, I'm in a lodge, and at night I still do the high pitched thing. Still does get me. And I'll see over the week, you know, usually this guy, the longer I stay in a place, the more stuff that he can kind of get on top of me. And I don't think I'm in, what's the word for it? I don't think I'm exempt from that kind of stuff in this 13,000 square mile zone. But it is nice. It's nice now. Even when I go across, you know, to Florida or wherever I'm going, you know, away from my house, I do get peace. But then I guess they move the satellite, or he works with whatever computer that he's accessing the satellite through, and he gets it more, you know, accurate on top of me. I'm not sure how his technology works, because I don't see it. And that's our weakness, is that it's like he's sitting in his house. He's sitting in his house with his torture station, and you know, I don't know how many other people there are with remote torture stations in other states that would help this, or be in this group that's doing it. It smacks you, it hits you just so hard in the chest. Not the physical burning in the chest, and that's the ELF. And I guess I don't want to get into specifics, because this guy, then he'll be like, well, we got to turn this up and blah blah. Or if he does hear me, or is able to surveil me or see me right now. I guess I'm not sure about all that stuff right now, which is good, and kind of go about my business, and maybe just imagine that they're not microwave surveilling my ass across the country. They're able to do it in Florida, though. And Florida is it's not as far. It's not as far away as where I am now, and in this area especially. You know, it's such a mountainous, you know, non-technology region. You should be able to get away from that stuff. Alright, I'll be making more videos. I'm gonna go kind of rest up. You know, while I was in the observatory, it was very, very, very peaceful. It's very, very peaceful when I'm driving around here. It's just not a complete panacea, I guess is the word. It's not completely, like, I don't think I can completely get away from this guy and whatever they're remotely using. I don't want to lie to y'all. Like, I may lie to my mom. I don't know, because then she'd be like, why don't you move up there if it's working? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I'll say to her and not destroy her life. and be able to keep going and make money. Because I think when I get back, I'll have to move out of my physical house to get somewhere else, and then try and get a job. Maybe I'll try and get a job in an airport, because that's the only thing that I'm very sure of. I don't hear anything, feel anything. There's nothing in airports. Nothing. So we might all want to go get jobs in airports. And I'm sure on that. I've never felt such peace in an area. That's the train. That's the train in Cass, on the Cass Railroad. Alright guys, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to try and upload as much as I can. I'm going to try and do as much as I can. I love y'all. God loves us all. And, you know, He led me here too. You know, because that information I found, I'm still going to have to go back home. I don't think I'm going to move up here. But there's still lots of options about protection and stuff like that. I definitely got to get out of the house, because it's like I know how much relief I have here, just not being around the ground Raytheon built microwave weapons that are torturing and killing humans in their homes. I just wish I didn't have to deal with this situation on one end, because it is destroying my family, and I just need to get a job and help them. On the other hand, it's so evil. Our world, if this exists in our world where people, they're so cynical about it. I mean, if anybody has V2K, and I know all you targeted individuals probably, if it hasn't been introduced by now, it will be introduced. God, it's negative. But you'll hear, like, I've got this, and, you know, we've got to do this, and things that, like, murderous, like, things that are so unbelievable, that are said with no emotion, like people are just people are killing an animal or something, like killing an animal to eat it or some crap. It's not even with that much respect. I don't understand it, and I'm definitely not crazy. I'm not schizophrenic. These things I've been experiencing for about 7 years, and it's grown. And it's gotten more deadly, and I think now pretty much, you know, this guy, he spun it. He's ex-military. He has people in the police force that he's probably lied to. I think by this time, the reason why he can do cross state lines, he'll lie and do anything. And I'm pretty much a terrorist right now. Like, I'm just this average American trying to get to a peaceful place, but pretty much this guy has trumped me up to where, like, I'm a terrorist, and he can get, like, maybe sheriffs in other state I'm on a list, and I'm like a dangerous, like, they see me as a dangerous enemy, a domestic threat. Like, that's what he's making it into. When I'm like this harmless American guy, my greatest crime was smoking weed, and I haven't done that in more than 6 months. So they have to find other excuses. And maybe I should have just kept smoking weed so he'd just stay on that excuse, instead of, like, now I think he's like, this guy, you know, he's dangerous and we've got to watch him and torture him. But the thing is, and I don't know if I've made a video about this, if you were a terrorist and you had bombs and you were going to shoot up a school, they wouldn't slowly microwave you and have their family and their wife and their kids in a house next to you and do it slowly. What this is, and I don't even know if the guy doing it realizes, this is practice for killing people who have different political views, political dissidents, people who are peaceful, who will back off, but are dangerous to the state. It's a communistic, like, really fucked up tactic to kill peaceful people who are still dangers. And I'm not saying I'm one of those. It's a drill for that. It's practicing for that. It's practicing for, hey, if there's somebody with information that the government doesn't like or something like that. That's why we need to get, I won't go into all the political stuff. We need more Republicans. We need more people who are focused on the Constitution and our constitutional rights. This stuff is borderline communistic. It's like mobs getting together and learning how to murder people together. And it's people who aren't dangerous. If I was a dangerous terrorist with bombs in my house, with guns, and I was planning on going shooting a school, Like, the FBI would take me out. This guy, would call and say, I have suspicions about this. Police would search my house. I had 4 police search my house the other day after they almost shot me. And they didn't arrest me and didn't send me in. They said, yeah, the aluminum's really weird. Like, you need to take your medication. But they didn't arrest me. They weren't scared of me. And I really have a feeling that the senior officer there knew what was going on. And he really, when he looked at me, I'm an empathetic person. I kind of feel stuff off of people. And it's not like he said, oh, I know this guy, but he looked at me. He's like, dude, just calm down here, and I felt like pity from him. Like, I think he knew. I think a lot of these cops know about these microwave weapons. They just can't stop it. They can't do anything about it. It's people who have a lot. I mean, if they got a satellite to shoot microwaves down at your head and your chest, and they can hit you cross country, then I guess they do have a lot of power. I mean, it's very I consider it cowardly. I consider it cowardly and evil, and just like, why would you ever do this? But if there's a faction out there, and this is just a theory I'm throwing out. I'm not saying this guy's like this. This guy could have he could think he could think that I'm a space alien with rockets out of my ass, and that he needs to kill me before those rockets go off. I have no idea what he believes. But if there's a faction out there that, that believes in depopulation, and they really do believe that, the world is hurting because there's too many people, and so they're picking sick people, or people that they do think are crazy, or political activists or something that they need to, they can just wipe out people who do drugs, and I was just smoking weed, but people who do drugs and stuff like that, and they're like, well, we can just wipe those people out, and then they long-term microwave them, and that kind of organizes people too while they're depopulating us. And I don't know. There may be a part of our population that believes in stuff like that. It's so scary, so scary. They're playing God, and God will get mad. God will get mad. I trust in God in this. I trust He's put me in this situation. My parents, I say they're fighting me and stuff like that, but they've helped me every step of the way, and it's painful for them. It's painful for them, it's painful for me, it's painful for my friends, it's painful for just my extended family. It's a painful thing for everybody. It hurts a lot of good people. It's hurting this guy's wife. I want to get away so I can, help his family to just live a normal life. I want to get away from him, but, he's going to chase me and try and kill me for years to come. Unless they can ban these weapons, unless we can stop it. I don't know. I'm just right now, and I get myself into a tizzy. I start talking in circles. That's what I do. Just trying to figure things out. And that's what I feel like we have to do. Kind of that guy hit me hard last night. I didn't get my feelings hurt or anything, but it kind of turns my head a little bit, and he was like, you need to be more specific. I'm appreciative of your videos, but he's like, we look like, you're being really subjective, and it's turning this into something where, it's bad for our cause, almost. I kind of believe him. I kind of think, well, he made that comment on my YouTube channel, so it's good in that way, just in that way, if it only was good in that way. But I kind of, what I'm doing is right. It's the only thing I can do. And whatever you think is right to do in your situation, do that. We've still got a chance. This stuff is very powerful, though. It's very under the surface, and, they can calmly murder people, and we are not calm because we're being microwaved alive, and so we do get desperate. We look for answers. We're humans. Forgive yourself for that immediately. Look to God, pray to God. I'm going to go upstairs right now, watch the rest of my Jesus movie, and, I'll be exploring the town more. It's mild here. It's mild, so I don't know if that is because of the radio-free zone. I do know it's not completely gone, and I don't want to lie to y'all, and he explained that because radio waves are... they're longer waves, and they're more spread out. Microwaves are more accurate and pinpointed. So you have to point microwaves, and that's what most of us are being hit with: microwaves, remote neural monitoring or whatever. And so they'd have to point those things directly at that radio telescope. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a slapdash scientist, so maybe I should have researched it before I got $1,000 from my mom, and we cried and all the pain and stuff. But you know, my dad may say that I'm grasping at things, but I kind of have to. I kind of have to grasp at things while I'm putting up videos. You know, because it's murder. He's murdering my body. It hurts my mind too. It's very, very painful torture while you're sleeping. You know, so I don't see where you could be calm and just be like, well, we can just take as much time as we need. It is a desperate situation. People are dying. They're being, you know, shown as crazy when they could just live regular lives and they're peaceful. And people who have murder in their hearts, I think that's an oxymoron. I think these people really, I don't know what they think. I don't know what they think about humans. All I know is, you know, they'll say things like they have to do it, and it's not really murder to them because they're not getting caught. And, you know, I think what they do is they demonize and they demonize and they demonize so much that they may even start to believe it. I have no idea. Like I said, this guy could think that I'm an alien monster from the planet Cuba with a rocket out of my butt, and the rocket's about to go off and destroy the world, so he's got to microwave me with satellites. Like, I have no clue what this guy thinks. I have theories about what he belongs to and what he thinks, but I don't want to even say those things because it gets me in trouble. It stacks up people, and the people who believe these things, they're not going to say they believe them. You know, they're going to act like they're normal Joes, and then they're going to twist everything and say, well, this guy thinks I'm a Satan worshiper. He thinks that I don't care about humans, so we have to murder him and his family. You know, I don't care what he believes. I want to get away from it. I want to help y'all to get away from it. I want to learn about this technology so we can stop the technology. I want to be grounded in a reality, and the reality isn't, what does this guy believe? I don't care. There are dangerous people who believe really ugly things. There are people who probably do live up in the mountains and they eat people. Like, there are people like that. There are just people who believe all sorts of crazy things. And there's just a faction of people, and they all maybe believe different things about murdering people, and they're murdering us. So it doesn't matter really what they believe. They could really believe that a giant roach is telling them to murder all of us with microwaves and remotely hit us. Like, that's not the point of all this. It really isn't. It really isn't. And I'm religious, so I do think Satan has power in this world. And I think it is a spiritual war, and I think some people, if they're murdering somebody in their sleep, there's something wrong. There's something wrong, because I'd never ever do that. There are people who would never do that. They think it's horrifying. They scream and they thrash against it because it's horrifying. And there are some people who are like, let's burn this guy up. Let's do this. I don't get it. It's a part of human psychology. Some people don't even believe these people exist. I mean, that's why they think I'm crazy, because they don't think that somebody could be that cruel and cynical. Like, they don't believe in that. There are lots of medical people who, like psychiatrists and neurologists, they don't believe, they're like, that kind of cruelty doesn't exist in the world. And it safeguards their mind, and it safeguards them so they can go about their lives. And I'm not blaming them at all. I'm saying we need to get our heads out of our butts and realize that there are people with really weird beliefs that include murdering people and not thinking that it's murder, just thinking that it's a culling or just cleaning off the earth or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how you could be calm about torturing somebody and like making their head explode while they sleep, and I don't get it. I didn't ever want to get it. Didn't want to be in this situation, but I am here now, and it is for a reason. And I'll keep on trucking along. It's nice up here. It's really nice up here, and I don't want to say don't come up here. It could get you away from your troubles. It's toned down my stuff so much, and it's so anywhere. Like I'm gonna like I might start staying with my parents more while they need to get me out of that house, and I need to get out of that house. It's become so violent, and this guy can just say anything about me. He's lied about me having a knife while I was in the house, so nobody could see me. So I mean, and he has his lights on every night. There's proof that he's doing this stuff, but nobody's gonna, listen to me, except y'all in the videos. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all respond with, yeah, I mean, that's it. It's the same program. It's the same type of remote hitting you, the same type of people saying, I've got this guy, and they're microwaving us. So it's the same type of mentality. I don't know even if there are big philosophies behind this. I don't know if it's just like, oh, we can do this, and they just don't see people as entities that need to be taken care of with potential. Like they don't see the world how I see it. I know that, and they don't see the world how a lot of y'all see it. It's a clash, and it's bizarre to me. To murder somebody is bizarre to me. To murder them casually from afar, like a video game, is more bizarre to me. Then to murder them in their sleep is more bizarre to me. And it gets so bizarre and dark and evil that I see why people don't believe it, and that's part of the program, is to make it bizarre and dark and evil so that people are like, this guy's crazy, because I speak about it and they're like, no way would a human being do that or have the capability of doing that. So, just gotta keep working on it. It eventually will. Like, I mean, even if I do die, I'm not trying to be negative. Like, I'm very positive. I think that I'll get out of this. I think this guy, will move on and take care of his family. I think we'll be able to do that, because he's got daughters that they're soaking this all up right now, whether he wants to believe that or not. And they're going to get older to where they not only soak it up, but where they actually know what their dad's doing, and so he's gonna have to stop, in years to come, and I'm not gonna die in years to come. So things are gonna change. Things are gonna change through this whole thing. But the way he's trumping it up, I think he is making me more and more out to be a terrorist, and more people are getting involved. So it's getting more dangerous to me, where somebody could run me, over. There's a lot of people who could go off and really kill people, and it wouldn't be me. I would be the victim of it, maybe, or people around me would be the victim, but now it is dangerous. I want to diffuse it more and more. I want to get away, far away, and then just protect myself and get calm and have a job and just try and diffuse. So that person, especially the girl, and I'm gonna make some videos later. I just want to tell you, I went through the National Radio Telescope, tour, and that's all I wanted to tell y'all. And then I went into all this. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, right? That I talk this much. I love you guys. God loves you. I'm gonna make some more videos, but I gotta get up what I have already up there. And I want to make some more videos throughout this trip, because I'll be kind of exploring the area, and just seeing what goes on. I'll tell you all what happens tonight in my lodge. I can't hear anything, but sometimes, late at night when I'm sleeping, and if I'm really prone, I'll hear high pitch, the high pitch EHF, which I don't even hear at my house. I just feel the ELF at my house. So it's completely different, completely changed in the different area. That's how it goes. Alright guys, I'll be making more videos later. Love you guys. I want to say a prayer. I'm just going to say the simple Our Father. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. By the blood of Jesus, help us all. Help keep us all safe. It's a great trip. It's a great place. There's not much around here. But I'll be making more videos later. Peace out, guys. I love you. I'll probably go to the radio observatory and take some footage of the radio telescope since I'm here, and then go to those Faraday rooms maybe tomorrow and tell y'all what's going on, with that. I love you guys. Bye.